So just saying from Twitter, sir, you're under arrest. You've had too much to think. Please consider doing a reaction video to High Rez's new song, Big Brother, featuring Tommy Vext, as it is culturally relevant. I will pin that. Make sure you follow me on Twitter, and you can tag me with stuff in Twitter. I don't get as many comments there as I do on YouTube, so I might be more likely to do what you ask. Just a thought. Rez, I've made a bunch of videos with him. Not with him. I made a bunch of videos of his stuff, and I liked all of it so far. His following is pretty decent, but I feel like they just hose him on views, man. Like how good the videos are, how good the sound is, and then it just doesn't blow up the way it should. I'm just saying, conspiracy? I think so. Also, I got like 13,500 subs here, and I posted a short and it got like 30 views. It took like more than an hour to get past 2. I'm just like, you guys are doing too much up here. You know what I mean? I don't trust any of this with the algorithms. Anyways, first, let's buy the song. We got to add this to the stream. Got to add it. Got to support Rez. And I will be putting that in the description, so in the edited video, so you guys can check it out. Hopefully he's got it put into the Amazon already. Sometimes they hold off. Oh, it's not available yet. You got to pre-order. Okay, well, when it becomes available, we'll order it. Won't let me. Got to pre-order the whole album. I do support people, but I can't buy everyone's whole album. I don't have money like that. Okay, guys? Just not... It's not like that yet. One day, but not yet. Now I just buy the songs that I do the review on. So I'll buy it, Rez. Just let me know when it's up there. Glenn says, has anyone noticed how many conspiracy theories have come true recently? Dude, it's a lot. A lot. Jeff Phelps, YouTube, likes to play BS games with views on videos. It definitely feels that way. I mean, you guys watch my videos. I know there's a little bit of like bias, narcissism, or arrogance even. You could even say arrogance. But there's some videos that are really crappy that get like tons and tons of views in my space. And I really put a lot into a lot of them. And some of them take off pretty well, and some of them I'm just like, dude, I don't even know how this only has this many views. It's like criminal. But that's just what happens, man. See, 6 hours, 5,000 views. I don't believe it, man. And Based Freestyle was awesome. It's only got 40,000 views right now. I don't even believe it. Do not believe it. Whatever. All right, let's check out Big Brother.
Big Brother, we don't love you no more. Big Brother, we can't trust you no more. They keep on pulling and pushing until we all end up wishing that now we can't take no more. Big Brother, living like 1984.
Yes, I love that. Every time they reference 1984, anyone, I get pumped up about that. Orwell, dude's a prophet. I mean, honestly, the funniest thing about Orwell is that he was like a democratic socialist, but he just wasn't a full-blown communist. So he was warning people as a socialist about the dangers of the full-blown communism, but the other democratic socialists were actually just communists in disguise because, let's be honest, socialism is communism disguised as democracy. It's communism by fraud instead of force. It's communism wearing a suit instead of a military uniform. I mean, it's just a shitty clone of the same thing. But Orwell tried to be the actual democratic socialist. It's kind of like RFK Jr. running as a Democrat right now. Like, the Democrat Party's been completely destroyed and is nothing like what it was. But he's like, no, I'm going back to like those exact values of good social programs, limiting the size of like the military industrial complex and, you know, just our overall wasted budget on foreign wars, big pharma stuff, and then putting more of that money into social programs versus like the conservative side. That's a tangent, huge tangent. But the point is, Orwell was the man, and I love anytime somebody references him in a song. Also, the like very first reaction I ever did, which sucked, it was horrible, was me just like passively listening to Tommy Vext Trust the Science with Topher, which was an absolute banger. I love that song. My video was terrible on it though, like super terrible, and like 7 minutes long. After I finished editing it, I vowed to never do a crappy video that bad and that short again. It was like disrespectful to the song. But anyway, his voice is really good, and he came in swinging with this one, so I'm excited about the whole thing. Also, you got to let me know, is Rez 66? Is that real or is that fake? Hey, you got to let me know. Is Rez huge? 6'6", my dude? Just let me know.
Pulling and pushing until we all end up wishing that now we can't take no more. Big brother, living like 1984.
Every day 1984 with the world economic form. Did I forget to mention social credit implementing the score?
ESG score. Dude, the ESG score is screwing us, man. And you watch like those freaking shady assholes at BlackRock, and they're like, we need to force behaviors onto people. We need to leverage our $10 trillion. I got all this raw footage. I'm going to put together a big like FU video to BlackRock. Comment if you want to see that. It's going to take a lot. But anyway, the BlackRock guy, I don't like him. CEO Larry Fink, he's like, we got to force people to be diversity and inclusion focused with environmental. It's like every leftist buzzword ever. And they're leveraging this $10 trillion hedge fund to force companies like Bud Light to screw over their whole base of consumers with woke crap. Like, do you think the redneck companies that are always bought out by conservative consumers would just like flip to woke for no reason? No, it's because these people are getting like forced into this ESG score situation, and they're like, be woke or we take away the investment funding, which is huge. It's like so much bigger than a couple of people buying the items. So they have to do it. And then now we're fighting back with all these boycotts because we're like, dude, it's over. You're just not going to get any consumer purchasing, only the hedge fund money if you go woke. I'm going to rant a lot in this one. I don't even care. This is great.
Living like 1984.
Every day 1984 with the world economic form. Did I forget to mention social credit implementing the score? If you kicked out and you poor, call get declined at the store. They got us divided and fighting, distracting us from the war.
We're stopping again. Okay, you saying your card's going to get declined at the store because they're trying to do like the CBDC, central bank digital currency, and they're like, if you behave, we'll let you buy gas and food. If you don't behave, you just get to starve. You just like, we're going to force behavior on people, and it's all woke and it's all like green crap. They want us to eat bugs and fake meat, and we are this close to them saying each other. I swear to God, this close to them saying a really good source of protein is the people we put in the ground. It's this close. I'm telling you. Just wait. Just wait. It's coming. This last line distracting us from the war, they just made another mistaken extra $6 billion, purchase to send more crap over there. And we're just like, dude, this is outrageous. It's so much money. It's insane. And like your average person, we're getting hosed by the inflation of this stupid spending. So I know you guys are feeling that, the inflation. I just went to like Chick-fil-A and the price jumped again. And it's like, it's good. It's the Lord's chicken. I get it. But like, damn, how much they're charging you for everything now. It's crazy. So it's because of stupid stuff like this. Puddle Jumper popped in. They won't stop till we're all zombified. Yes, exactly. Thank you, from the words of Ronnie. Now his raps are really fast, so I gotta like back up a few so I don't miss stuff. But let's go.
With the world economic form, did I forget to mention social credit implementing the score? If you kicked out and you poor, call get declined at the store. They got us divided and fighting, distracting us from the war. Wasn't our food in our water, confusing our sons and our daughters. You'll own nothing and be happy, convincing you less is more.
Okay, Poisoning the food and the water, absolutely, yes. We saw with the Joe Rogan and RFK Jr. video, they put atrazine in the water. It's a pesticide. It's in the water.
And 30 of those frogs were chemically castrated. 4 of them turned into females and produced fertile eggs. So they took male frogs, gave them atrazine, 10% of them turned into female and produced fertile eggs. And we're subjecting our children to exposure to that every day.
What is atrazine?
It's in the water. It's a pesticide.
And it's messing up all of like our hormone levels. So you see tons of testosterone decline in men. You see all these fertility issues in women. You see the massive issue of like the gender ideology happening, which is partially because all these kids are like poisoned. So their bodies aren't developing like the way they used to. And so they're getting confused because they're not feeling the way they probably should be feeling. Part of that is the food and the water, the air, and the blood getting poisoned. It feels like it's part of an agenda. And then they're like, you'll own nothing and be happy, convince you less is more. Yep. Telling you, eat the bugs, man. Live in the pod. And then no one can buy a house because they're making the cost of borrowing money higher with these interest rates. And then the large investment firms are buying out all the houses, all the properties that are like in the middle class range of purchasing. And then they're just renting those homes to people. So they're not owning anything anymore. They're trying to remove that from us. Did I miss anything? Poison, confusing people. Yeah, I think that's it. Sasquatch WhatsApp messages from Hunter specifically calling out he was sitting with his father to China distraction. Titanic sub. Dude, yeah, speaking of distraction, Titanic sub, Joe Biden just got articles of impeachment filed against him. And they're like, we need to talk about anything else but that. That sub thing is pointless. For real. Like, I'm sorry for those people that spent all that money to go on a woke journey to the underbelly of the ocean. It sucks. I say woke because the people were like ignoring safety concerns to make sure that they had diversity and inclusion in their hiring instead of getting the best people. And then those people died. So that's very tragic, very sorry, but it's a distraction. Like, it's not as important as they're pretending it is. See from Mike Ross, Trump is 6'3", not 6'7". Yeah, he's not as tall as Rez. Oh, Kaisu Chief, Ben Shapiro just reported that the man in charge of safety on the sub told them it wasn't safe to dive and they fired him. Yeah, that sounds about right. They're like, hey, maybe you shouldn't do this. Maybe you shouldn't provide this. Maybe this drug isn't safe. And they're like, oh, we're going to bury the study and fire the person who brought it up. And now it's safe. You know, that's just freaking crazy, dude.
Poor car get declined at the store. They got us divided and fighting, distracting us from the war. Poison our food and our water, confusing our sons and our daughters. You'll own nothing and be happy, convincing you less is more. Controlling the population, creating impatient nation. Have you complacent and placing your trust in government agencies? What George Orwell had written today is no longer fiction. They implemented a system that put us all in a prison. They want you to be the bugs in the pod.
Okay, I already talked about bugs in a pod, just so you know. But the one thing he talked about I didn't get to, making everyone impatient. You saw like TikTok has destroyed our focus. It has destroyed our attention span. Because before it was like not really a big deal. People could sit through a whole movie, could sit through a whole, football game, whatever. And now it's like people have such a short attention span. If it's not super clickbait worthy content, like you lose your focus and leave after a few seconds. So they got all these like viral videos that are 7 seconds long. And like, if it's not amazing for that long or more, you're not going to stay because you need that dopamine hit like every few seconds. And that's what these social media, like short form scrolling apps has done to us. I mean, it has destroyed the attention span, especially for children. It's really bad for children. So he's really going after the Orwell thing. And then back to the World Economic Forum thing about trying to get us to give up natural resources and just like eat bugs and shit. It's disgusting.
Have you complacent and placing your trust in government agencies? What George Orwell had written today is no longer fiction. They implemented a system that put us all in a prison. They want you to be the bugs in the pod, not taking care of your body. No religion and worshiping government and not God.
Yes. Okay. And then the last thing there that's huge is they want you to worship the government, not God. Yes. I had Armando in, and he talked about in Cuba when he was a kid, he was in his classroom, like kindergarten or first grade, and they told everyone to like put a blindfold on, and then they said, all right, everyone pray to Jesus for a piece of candy. And all the kids did it, and they said, take the blindfold off, and like nothing happened. They said, all right, put the blindfold back on. They said, all right, pray to Fidel Castro for a piece of candy. And then everyone like said, oh yeah, please, Fidel Castro, give me a piece of candy. And then they took the blindfolds off, and there's a piece of candy on their desk. So like from day one as a kid, they were getting in your head that God is pointless, and Fidel Castro, the communist totalitarian government, will provide for you if you obey. That's what they want. That is totally true story. You could ask him, but that's wild.
Today is no longer fiction. They implemented a system that put us all in a prison. They want you to be the bugs in the pot, not taking care of your body. No religion and worshiping government and not God.
Big brother, we don't love you no more. Big brother, we can't trust you no more. They keep on pulling and pushing until we all end up wishing, and now we can't take no more. Big brother, living like 1984.
Government tracking.
Bro, they snuck that in. They snuck that in so bad. Like you saw the look. Like he was not surprised. And I grew up in New York, and we all grew up with the very strong opinion that Bush stole the election and did 9/11, period. And that was not controversial. Liberals were allowed to shit all over the Republican Bush nonstop the whole time. It's like he got us into the Middle Eastern wars pointlessly. He did 9/11. He rigged the election against Al Gore. That's what we all said, and everyone was cool with it. I heard teachers talking about it, parents talking about it. It was all over the news forever. So the whole idea that now you can't criticize the government, now you can't criticize the president, now you can't suggest there's any conspiracies going on, that just goes to show you how psycho we've gone, and that they're trying to just like pick a side that's allowed to criticize, and then the other side can't. So the whole trust in the system's destroyed.
We'll end up wishing, and now we can't take no more. Big brother, living like 1984.
Government tracking our phones, everything we eat GMO. They want us all driving electric controlled everywhere that you go. I ain't riding with Biden and I ain't trusting Trudeau. But in fact, all these politicians, the weft place around the globe.
Ooh, yeah, the World Economic Forum, young leaders, anyone who's got that stamp next to them, you need to look at them a little extra. He's like, I'm not riding with Biden, I'm not trusting Trudeau, and yeah, no. Like, for one, Biden doesn't even know where he is half the time. And then baby Castro up north, he's just such a fake fraud sack of crap. No one likes that guy. So I'm sorry for you. I'm sorry for you all in the great white north having to deal with Mr. You don't have a Second Amendment here. You don't have a right to defend yourself.
Guns can be used for hunting or for sport shooting in Canada, and there's lots of gun owners, and they're mostly law-respecting and law-abiding. But you can't use a gun for self-protection in Canada. That's not a right that you have in the Constitution or anywhere else. If you try and buy a gun and say it's for self-protection, no, you don't get that. You get it for hunting. You can get it for sport shooting. You can take it to the range, no problem, as long as you go through our rigorous background checks. But there's a difference around the culture. And one of the things that we're seeing with the debate in the States is you get more and more of the American-style, right to carry, self-defense arguments filtering up through the the usual more right-wing communications channels.
Yeah.
Somebody can break into your house, beat up your woman, attack you, and if you take them out, you go to jail for murder. That happened. That's real. So that's cool. He's attacking people around the world, the WEF puppets, and they openly talk about that, how they're placing people strategically for this, our democracy. And you're like, whose democracy? It's not my democracy. It's not your democracy. It's their democracy they're trying to build. Dude, yeah, Sasquatch says gun control advice from a government that left $300K in Afghanistan. Yeah, it was like $85 billion worth of gear and guns that they left to the Taliban. And then Biden's like, we got to do something about this gun control. God save the Queen. Like, okay, bud, thank you. Why don't you watch out for the sandbag? I heard they put kiddie stairs for him now. There's like, it's like safety scissors. Apparently they have safety stairs for Biden. KWG, democracy is socialism. Yeah, well, we have a constitutional republic. We're not a democracy. So that's a big part of the problem is they keep trying to force the incorrect term. They're trying to rewrite everything.
Everything we eat GMO. They want us all driving electric controlled everywhere that you go. I ain't riding with Biden and I ain't trusting Trudeau. But in fact, all these politicians, the wealth place around the globe. Taxing on carbon emissions. They don't want you guarding your children. They don't want you having no knowledge. They want us all in the prison. Gender confusing the youth. Their agenda is proof. I don't trust these fact checkers every time they censor the truth.
Ooh, I don't trust these fact checkers every time they're censoring the truth. Yes, 1000%. Also, you got a lot of like the Open Societies Foundation. Soros, who owns the fact checkers, basically once Hillary started running and then Trump was dropping those bombs on stage, they're like, we need to create a network of truth guardians for fact checking. And that's when you started to see all this Snopes crap pop up. It's fake fact checking. And some of them, it'll like say false, but then you read the actual fact check and it says it did happen, but it doesn't mean what you want it to mean. So we're just going to say false. Like the fact checkers are unreal. And then you're talking about the carbon emissions and they're trying to control everything and where you go. The whole electrical grid thing, like our grid cannot handle electric. It can't handle everything converting to electric. If everything went electric at the same time, we could power the world. I think it was for like 11 minutes or something. And then we'd run out of resources. Like it's not happening. Sasquatch fact checkers were assigned by the White House. Yeah, they were trying to set up the Ministry of Truth. Remember that lady? That lady was freaking crazy. He said, I'm surprised they haven't started using escalators for Joe. Said Velcro on the stairs. A stair lift up on Air Force One. You guys are brutal. They're like, push the button.
Fusing the youth, their agenda is proof. I don't trust these fact checkers every time they censor the truth. How we overpopulated if our birth rate is shrinking. Go ahead, ignore your instincts. Morals right now to sink.
Yes, okay. Yes, birth rate is shrinking, which is alarming. And they keep saying we're overpopulated. We're not overpopulated. If you took everyone in the world, you can put them like shoulder to shoulder in, I think, Alaska and Texas. And then the whole rest of the world could be farmland. Like, we're not overpopulated. Not even close. And the birth rates all over the place are shrinking, leading to basically catastrophe. But you have the World Economic Forum type people who are saying that we're headed to like a fifth revolution or something, where there's going to be these hyper improved humans with like AI tech and all this gear that gets like uploaded into us, where we have like these body and brain modifications. He's like, there's going to be these people and then there's going to be all of these useless people. We got to figure out what to do with them.
So we may be facing in the 21st century a completely new kind of inequality, which we have never seen before in human history. On the one hand, the emergence of a new upgraded elite of superhumans enhanced by bioengineering and brain-computer interfaces and things like that. And on the other hand, a new massive useless class, a class that has no military or economic usefulness and therefore also no political power.
It's very clear with all of the population control agendas, they're trying to shrink what they call the useless feeder portion of the population. That's deep, dude. That's where we're at, though. We probably are, if not very soon, going to be underpopulated. And when you look at all the people with fertility issues, stillbirths, miscarriages, generally having less children, which, by the way, seems to be more of a liberal thing. Conservative people have more children on average. So if the elections were good, it would be a massive trend the other direction just by the fact that the liberal people are, turning into cat ladies and dying alone. And then, conservative people seem to be raising big, happy families. So I'm just saying, hey, Sasquatch and pro-choice. Yes, you have that issue. on that side as well, that they're taking out their own population before it gets started.
Overpopulated, if our birth rate is shrinking, go ahead, ignore your instincts. Morals right now to sink. All the freedoms that you thought you had, they gone in a blink. Sir, you're under arrest. You've had too much to think.
Ooh, sir, you're under arrest. You've had too much to think. That's awesome. that was in the suggestion. I didn't assume that was going to be part of the video, but that's a great line. That should go on a t-shirt for sure. I hope he's selling that.
Rate is shrinking, go ahead, ignore your instincts. Morals right now to sink. All the freedoms that you thought you had, they gone in a blink. Sir, you're under arrest. You've had too much to think.
Big brother, we don't love you no more. Big brother, we can't trust you no more. They keep on pulling and pushing until we all end up wishing, and now we can't take no more. Big brother, living like 1984. Big brother, big brother, big brother.
Dude, Tommy Vext has a voice. Like, I heard his breakdown in Trust the Science, and I'm just like, there was so many different tones that were going on. I was like, that is really good, really impressive. But he's just going straight singing here, and he's been killing it in this song. Rez, you gotta throw it on Amazon, cause I want to buy it for the stream. It's got to play in the gaming streams, dude. Don't let me down, okay? Put it on Amazon. Let me know when it's there. Guys, you help me too. Comment when it's on Amazon so I can pick this one up.
Big brother, big brother, big brother, big brother.
Okay, got to make sure we like that one. Throw a comment. Rez, you and Tommy crushed it. And we'll throw sunglasses and a thumbs up. Got to keep the love spreading out here. That's what's up, dude. That was a good song. I like the song. You know, I say it all the time. There's some songs where I'm like, okay, I like some of the lyrics because, you know, it goes with the times, or it's really culturally important. It's really politically driven for, you know, truth bombs. And then there's ones that are just really good singing. There's ones that are better rapping. So this one was like the whole package. So Rez usually does a pretty good job in his raps. Tommy crushed it with the singing. I mean, it was so good. And then that's going to be an evergreen, you know, 1984 song. I love it. I loved it. Big brother, thank you. Just saying from Twitter. And guys, make sure you follow me on Twitter. Suggest stuff like that, okay? We need it for the stream. That was freaking awesome. Jeff Phelps said Biden needs an elevator to get on Air Force One, and then Puddle says he'd get stuck in an escalator. That's savage. That's amazing. Sasquatch wrote Neuralink. Yep, exactly. Neuralink and other aspects of it, or future variations of it. Like, I see the benefits of it for, like, you know, reestablishing a link from somebody's brain to their leg that doesn't work. You know what I mean? Like a paralyzed person, to get their life back with something like that. But then, of course, it's going to get weaponized, manipulated. It's going to get freaking programmed with, like, liberal talking points, and it's going to be, like, chirping in your brain just when you're trying to eat cereal. So I understand where the scary, crazy parts of that go. Faithless, we're on the verge of the Children of Men movie timeline. Yes. Yes, we are. I saw that a long time ago, and it feels like predictive programming. Wild. All right, I'm checking the memes on Discord. Oh, there we go. There we go. Says, looks like you've had a little bit too much to think. And it's Zuckerberg wearing a police hat with a Facebook logo. Says Zuckerberg, thought police, don't speak out of question. You know, Zuckerberg and Elon Musk are supposed to have like a cage match. It was shared on pretty legitimate news sources. So I don't know what's going to happen with that. But, I mean, if we can get these YouTuber dudes to punch each other out, we can get them to wrestle. And whatever. That'd be cool. I'm just waiting for like a, what do you call it? Like Kyokushin karate. Trump versus Biden. Let's go. Winner takes president. Oh, Sasquatch. Yeah, I saw that. The Pfizer CEO talked about a pill that had a tracker to make sure that you take it. I heard that. He was like, imagine the compliance that we could get out of this. It's like, okay, imagine the compliance. If you hear somebody talking like that, you're just like, and of course they have like an accent, that European, like evil Bond villain accent while talking about stuff like that. And I'm just like, dude, you're talking to the wrong country. Like this. Imagine when someone says imagine the compliance and then followed by orders and what they think everyone should do, meaning everyone but them and their friends, that gets me fired up, man. Like, I'm so not compliant. It's not even funny. It's so difficult for business Jeff to keep this thing going with me trying to go off the rails every 5 seconds. Jeff Phelps, I got locked out of my Facebook like 2 years ago and can't even delete it. That's really terrible, dude. I actually got locked out of Facebook for a month because I shared a clip of Rogan with, I think it was Dr. Peter McCullough, talking about how masks didn't work very well. And yeah, they locked me out for a month. It was awful. I'm just like trying to share posts of pictures of my kids, and then it's like, nope, you can't post for 29 more days. I'm like, what? So I kind of went crazy after that happened and then started doing all this. That was like the last straw. Sasquatch says, where's the gorilla suit? I remember the monkeypox skit. That's funny. That was a good skit. I had so much fun making that. It's really, the funniest part is I brought out the gorilla suit because of TikTok. So I made a video on TikTok and it started to go viral about Biden versus Trump with how they acted towards Russia. Because like Biden's super soft on Russia, and then Trump was like, hey, you guys need to behave, and then they didn't, and then Trump actually like ordered a strike on the Russian mercs in Syria that were messing with our guys. So he's actually taken out Russians and put them in their place. He put them on notice. So I was like, yeah, this is unreal that they're trying to make it seem like Biden's tough on anyone and then Trump was weak on Russia. Totally not true. Inversed. Just like everything they try to put on us. Anyway, the whole point is they deleted my video and censored it for nudity. Totally wasn't nudity. It was just me talking and sharing a bunch of facts about Trump versus Biden. So then I made a video after that where I was wearing the full gorilla suit. And I was just like, yeah, my last truth bomb video got deleted for nudity. So I'm wearing this like full body suit to make extra sure you know I'm not naked. And so it was just me being a smartass. That was the whole point. But I had so much fun with it that I just kept the gorilla suit coming back into different videos. I mean, all I'm going to say is the vibes I get from the entire Trump indictment and all of the documents and all of everything that I've seen so far is it reminds me of the second impeachment with CNN clips getting doctored, tweets getting doctored. And then when the lawyer shows up on the actual day, on the actual time, he just shares the actual truth, and then everyone kind of gets like basically dick slapped by Trump. And like that's all that happens. So I think that's what's going to happen. That's just my prediction. I'm not, a fortune teller or whatever, but that's just what I think. He's not worried. Like, he's so not worried about it that it just tells me that that's what's going to happen.